everybody, it's Amanda. And so I wanted to come on here today to talk a little bit about the meal plan for A Little Obsessed, which is our sneak peek into the 80-day program that is coming to Beachbody in January. It is a total body transformation program that focuses specifically and targeting strengthening our core and our glute muscles. So the greatest thing about this program is that it's going to be a timed nutrition plan, which means that the super trainer, Autumn Calabrese, is going to tell us what to eat when. Not necessarily specific foods, but when to eat our carbs and when to eat our proteins and when to do those kinds of things. So because of that, a lot of people have been freaking out about how to meal plan. For A Little Obsessed, she introduced what is called the workout block. And that means it is a block of time that is before your workout and post workout in which you eat specific categories of foods. It is the sneak peek into what 80-day obsession time nutrition all day long is going to look like, but we're starting here. So in order to help us effectively meal plan for this, I am going to show you what I do. I'm a pen and paper kind of gal. I like having a visual, and so I really enjoy using graph paper, okay? I'm actually going to show you guys an example of a plan B today because I had a friend reach out to me and ask me for some help. So I want to try to help her get on track with her nutrition. And so that way she feels successful. Because guys, it's not just about doing the workouts. It's also about what we're fueling our body with. And we want to feel like that we're in control. Because when you don't have a plan, you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. You might be somewhat successful, but having a plan will make all the difference. So I'm actually going to step you through my process, okay? So I get my graph paper out, and if you want to do it on a computer, good for you. You do it whatever way makes sense for you. But the very first thing that I do is I go to the guide, y'all, the guide. Why do I go to the guide? Because that is the Bible of the meal plan. If I'm not looking at the guide, I'm just kind of going on memory, and that's going to get me into trouble. So let me show you how we start at the beginning and calculate what bracket that we're going to be in so that you know what it means when I say plan B. And I'm even going to back it up a little bit further than that so that you know what I'm talking about when I talk about certain colors. So are we ready to dive in? I sure hope we're ready to dive in because I'm totally ready. Let's get it going, y'all. All right, here we go. Okay, like I said a minute ago, I print out the eating plan. I'm a pen and paper kind of gal, so I want something tangible that I can look at and that I can do things to. I want to be able to write in it if I want to. I want to be able to put it in my sheet protector so that I can take it in the kitchen with me and it's not a big mess. So this is what I do. Now, I will tell you that this is the first invention of the eating plan. There have been some changes since then, and I will actually print out and put in here the new eating plan changes, and they just changed a little bit on the pre-workout meal. So we open it up. It talks about the portion control containers. If you've never seen the portion fix containers, this is what they look like. Simplest system I have ever used, and if you've heard my story, you know that I have been a health and fitness dropout so many freaking times. I've tried every freaking program. This is the simplest one I've ever used. It breaks down everything into certain categories in certain colors. So greens are our vegetables, purples are our fruits, reds are our proteins, yellows are our carbohydrates, blue's a healthy fat, and our oranges are for our seeds and dressings. And then what's not in the picture is that you do need a teaspoon. Everybody's got a teaspoon, right? And that's for our oils and nut butters. And I'm really excited because she added mayonnaise. So, I like that kind of stuff. All right, so that's the basics of when I'm talking about a color. This is what I'm talking about. And how you measure your food with these containers, really simple. You take your food, you put it in the container, and you fill it up until you you fill it up to the point where you can still put the lid on. That's really important. Okay? All right, so that's the portion control containers. Simple, right? And maybe you're already familiar with the portion control containers. Not a big deal. If you are, then you can skip this part. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to calculate your calorie target. So this takes our weight and we times it by 11. That gives us our caloric baseline. And then there's some more math that you can choose to do if you're in maintenance, if you just want to maintain your weight. And if you're trying to lose weight, then you need to be using the second C category here to determine what your calorie target needs to be. Our calorie target takes us down to step 2, which determines our eating plan. And our eating plan, so freaking simple. It basically says if we're in plan B, because we're doing a plan B sample today, it shows that we should get 4 greens, 3 purples, 4 reds, 1 yellow, or 3 yellows. Woo! Plan B would have been mad at me for that. 1 blue, 1 orange, and 4 teaspoons. Okay, so what do I do with this information? Well, I go back over here to my graph paper and I just write the basics of my plan at the top. These are like check boxes that I make for myself for each of the categories. So you see it all corresponds to what category food that I'm going to be needing. All right, so that's the very first part. Simple, right? And if you're familiar with 21 Day Fix, this part's going to seem so simple. Not a big deal. Now's where we get into the tricky part of timed nutrition. So then we're going to have to determine our workout block. So let's talk for a second about what workout blocks are. Why do we need a workout block? Well, a workout block is like a 4 to 5 hour period where we eat something before we work out. She said we have to eat before our workout. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to eat? Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. That's what a lot of people have done in this moment. Don't freak out, okay? Why do we need to fuel our body before we work out? Because we need to fuel our body before we work out. It's so that we can definitely jumpstart our metabolism. Our body has something to burn. And I promise you, I was skeptical about this because I used to fast before I work out. But I promise you, I've been doing this for maybe a week, and I can tell a difference. I can tell, well, not even a week, just a few days. I can tell a difference in my energy level and my endurance and my stamina and my workouts. It's huge. It's a big, big deal. So when you determine, first thing you got to determine for your workout block, what time are you going to work out? What time is it going to be? You got a time? Awesome. If you got a time, you're ready for the next step. Okay, so now we are back to my graph paper, and I have written down what's going to be included in the steps of your workout block. So you're going to have a pre-workout meal first, then you're going to take Energize if you take that supplement, not a requirement, just if you're going to. Then you're going to have your workout, then you're going to do Recover if you're doing a Recover supplement, and then you're going to have a post-workout meal. So remember when I asked you what time you were going to work out and wanted to know what time you were going to work out? Well, that's really important because everything is based around the time that you're going to work out. Okay? So, if I am going to work out around 7, then I am going to write 7 over here for 7 a.m. Yeah, 7 a.m. Alright guys, so the next step takes us back to our graph paper. And so I have written down everything that's included in a workout block, starting with our pre-workout meal, then our Energize if we're going to be doing Energize, our workout, and then our Recover if we're going to be doing that supplement, and then post-workout meal. If you don't know what Energize and Recovery are, they are performance supplements put out by Beachbody that are not a requirement for the program. However, they are recommended because they can help boost your performance. So you remember a few minutes ago when I asked you what time you were going to work out and asked you if you were ready for the next step because you know what time you're going to work out. So let me reveal what time that this plan is going to work out because everything is based around the time that you're going to work out. So for this plan, we're going to work out at 7 a.m. See it? 7 a.m. So this 7 a.m. determines everything else about this schedule. Okay, so the very first thing that you're going to be doing is that your pre-workout meal is going to be 60 to 90 minutes before you do that workout. So if we're working out at 7, we are going to do our pre-workout meal at 6 a.m. Yeah, we're going to eat that early for sure. Then the pre-workout supplement, that is 20 to 30 minutes before our workout. So we're going to plan to take that about 6:30. Yeah, we're going to be jazzed and ready to go, okay? Then we have our workout at 7, and then within 30 minutes, so at 7 a.m., so maybe 7 to 7, well, our workout for a little obsessed is 7:30. It'll be 7:30 because it's about a 30-minute workout. So at 7:30, you're going to do your recover, okay? So 7:30 to 8 a.m. you can have that recover. It just has to be within 30 minutes of the workout. So 7:30 to 8, you need to have that. And again, that's a supplement. And then you're going to have your post-workout meal 1 to 2 hours after your workout. I will tell you that these two things keep me kind of full for a bit. So I don't normally do my post-workout meal until probably closer to that 2-hour mark. So let's go ahead and put this one an hour and a half. So we're looking at 9 a.m. We're going to do a post-workout meal. Okay? So now we know what times we're going to eat. Now we need to look at what we're going to eat. Okay, everybody. So I went ahead and pulled it up on my computer because I have not yet printed this one out. My printer was being ornery. But this is the latest version of what the meal plans need to be, the workout blocks. Remember, we're doing Plan B. So you see what containers that we need to have during each of these different times, okay? So that's what you're seeing. So how does that correlate to down here to our graph paper? All right, so for our graph paper, I went ahead and made squares just like we have up here to add in all of the things that we need to be eating. So recently, the most recent change that Autumn put out, we have 2 options for our pre-workout meal time, okay? So you can have a bigger meal of a green, a red, and a yellow, which would be a veggie, a protein, and a carb with a teaspoon of oil or nut butter. Or you can do a purple and a red, which is a fruit and a protein and a teaspoon, okay? So really the choice is really yours here, which one that you want to do. This is for a lot of people who say that they can't eat a lot before they work out. Maybe for this you have a couple boiled eggs or a couple scrambled eggs and a piece of fruit. Or maybe you do Shakeology if you're a Shakeology person. So maybe you do Shakeology with some frozen berries to go with it. And then that spoon would be maybe 8 ounces of almond milk. So that would be an easy meal 1. And then if you're going to do this meal, one of the meals that I've really enjoyed this week is actually a quinoa breakfast bowl that came from a Clean Week recipe where you do a cup, which is a green, of sauteed veggies with 2 scrambled eggs on top for your protein and a yellow of quinoa. And so I cooked my veggies and my eggs in a teaspoon of oil, and so that gave me that pre-workout meal. I've really enjoyed that. So that's an option, and you can also do like a Shakeology that has Shakeology, 1 scoop would be red. Shakeology is the protein superfood shake from Beachbody, if you didn't know that. So you could do a red of Shakeology with your teaspoon worth of almond milk. It's not actually a teaspoon. You actually get 8 ounces of almond milk for 1 teaspoon because of what it's worth calorie-wise. So you could do a scoop of Shakeology with an almond milk with maybe a cup of spinach in your shake. And one of the things that I really enjoy adding to my chocolate shake is I like to add uncooked oatmeal. So you can do 1/4 of a cup because you can't actually do a full yellow of oatmeal. So 1/4 of a cup of dry oatmeal into my shake. And so you could even do like let's say that you could do, so you could do, if you wanted to do it with water, you could do a Shakeology with spinach and oatmeal, and then make this teaspoon even some peanut butter, and that is going to taste like an unbaked oatmeal cookie. So there's some options there for you. Then when you're drinking your Recover, you should also be having a piece of fruit. This is when I really like to have an apple. I really enjoy that. And then our post-workout meal looks very much like meal one, in that we have to have a veggie, a protein, and a carb. So sometimes what I like to do for this is sometimes I have eggs again. Or if I didn't have my Shakeology here, I'll have my Shakeology here. And I will make it kind of like what I've talked about. I'm a chocolate fan. That's what I'm going to do. So sometimes if you don't do the Recover, then you can actually move this purple down to your post-workout meal. And maybe do Shakeology that has Shakeology with some spinach and some frozen strawberries, with a frozen whole grain waffle on the side. I don't know. I don't know what you want to do. It's really up to you. But really everything is based around your workout. Without a time for your workout, you can't figure out your time nutrition. And so what you'll do after this is you'll just determine how many more of your containers that you have left, and you'll spatter them around during the day. I know Autumn does suggest having protein at every of your main meals. So at lunch you would have some protein, and at dinner you would have some protein. That would get your 4 proteins in. She does also suggest to try to get your purples in earlier in the day. So if you had a purple here with your meal one and a purple here, then you would only get 1 more fruit, and you could maybe do that maybe around lunchtime to get it done early. And you also want to try to get your yellows done earlier in the day. The idea behind this is that our body can better utilize them for energy and recovery when we do them earlier in the day. So if you do the regular pre-workout meal, then you're going to have 2 of those down. So you could even save 1 of them for lunch, save 1 of them. I always like to have a carb at dinner, but that's just me. It makes me feel okay. It makes me feel normal, I guess. I don't know. I love me some carbs. So this is just some ideas on how to do the meal plan. Know and understand that this is just the beginning, because when we get to 80-day obsession, we will be having a whole day planned out for us. The idea is to eat every 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, so that we constantly keep our body fueled. So guys, I don't know about you guys, but I am loving this. So no excuses. Do hard things, because you can do hard things. Remember, we talk about this, and you guys can make this happen. If you have questions about the meal plan, hit me up, because that is what I'm here for. But don't overcomplicate this. Y'all have a great